Hey guys, it's Philip Boksa, and in this video, I'm going to talk about diversifying so that when you guys are starting to make a good amount of income, you guys can go ahead and diversify some of those profits. And now, why would you diversify? I believe that once you start to actually make money, and we're talking about $20,000 per month in profit, you should start putting it somewhere else. Until then, I think that you should only focus on your primary goal, which I always talk about is the business, right? Because we're here to grow a service business. So I always say focus on that primary goal. And, when you're making $1,000 in profit, $5,000 in profit, that's great. It's a good start, but it's really not that much money to start diversifying, okay? That's why I always say once you get to $20,000, I think that's a very good start because that's when you should start putting it somewhere else. We always talk about focusing on that primary business, right? That's super important because in a day, you only have so much time. If you're a beginner, you don't have a lot of money and you go into 5 different things where you split your time, none of them are going to succeed. You'll see that the best entrepreneurs and even the biggest millionaires, they always start with one thing. Once they start with that one thing, they go at it 100%. And then once they start making money, that's when they either start a different business or start, investing in real estate or something along those lines. But you have to first figure out one thing at a time. Because like I said in this video and many times before, if you don't, you're literally just gonna split your time. And instead of focusing and giving one thing your all, you're going to basically half-ass everything and you're not going to get anything, okay? Or so little that it's not going to be worth your time. So you have to focus, and I keep repeating this because it's so important, all your efforts into one thing until you start making money. So now I say $20,000 per month is a good start. Of course, you can do it sooner, but I think $20,000 is perfect because now you can take a little bit of that money and go ahead and put it into something else. Where would you put it? And why would you put it? So the reason why you would do it is because you never know what's going to happen. You don't want to have everything in one investment, which would be in this case a business, right? It's an investment. Growing a business is an asset, it's an investment. And even though you should focus on it primarily to go ahead and achieve great results, you should still never put 100% of your money in one thing. So once you start making that money, you should start looking into other places where you can put in money. When you're focusing on that primary goal, you should still continue to do so and then slowly look for things that do not take a lot of your time. So what I would do, and this is actually what I do, is I pick things that don't distract me from my primary goal, right? My primary goal is to grow Booking Koala. I want to make sure that Booking Koala becomes a billion-dollar company and is used by at least 1 million users that are paying for Booking Koala. That's my primary goal. And in order to do that, I have to be focused. I have to be locked in, right? And I don't care about anything else. When I used to grow my home cleaning company, for example, I was going to sell it because I did not want to take any time away from growing Booking Koala. That's literally where I spend most of my time because that is the goal. That's where I see most success in, not only because I'm passionate about it. I love working there. I love working on the company, but I also see the most success financially. So when I realized that and we started growing that, I was like, okay, 100% going in on this project right here. But what do I do with the cleaning company? Because it takes so much of my time. So at that point, I went to the manager. I told her, I will go ahead and give you a percentage of the company at that time. Later, we bought that percentage out when everything, got sorted out. But at that time, I was like, we'll give you percentage of the company. I don't want to hear anything from what's going on at the cleaning business. All the problems, you solve it, right? And at that time, it was a great investment because for about 4 years when I was growing Booking Koala, I didn't have to focus on any of that stuff. All the problems were solved by the manager. Later, I was able to buy back those shares when Booking Koala was already at a level where it was super successful. So why did I do that? Because I always focus on the primary goal if I know that's the one that is going to yield the best results. So when you're doing that, you have to find investments that do not take a lot of your time. When you look into investing in other sources. The problem is the more money you want to make with those sources, the more time you're going to have to offer, or the more money you're going to have. For example, if you have $100,000, I would not put in a savings account because you're not going to get anything out of there, but at least find some kind of place where you can earn 4%, okay? And 4% will give you $4,000 in income annually, right? If you have $100,000, which $4,000 is nice, but it's not a lot of money, right? If you have $1 million, now that's going to go up to $40,000, right? Which is much better. You have 2 million, you have 80,000, and you could live off of that. So the more money you have, the more you're going to make without sacrificing, your primary goal, because you will not have to do anything to earn that 4%, right? You could still find places that will give you maybe 10% and things like that, where you still won't need to give up a lot of your time or any of your time. But once you want to start making, 50% returns, 20, 30, 50, double your money, or even more so, now you have to look at things where it's a trade-off. You have to give a lot of your time, right? So you have to figure out what's very important to you. Is it that primary goal that you're focusing on? Or is it this new thing that you're going into? If it's your primary goal, you have to find things that are going to yield not very high results, not high profits, but it's a place where you can now slowly put your money into, okay? So it could be stock market or real estate, right? Which may take more of your time than just putting it into a stock market. But you have to figure out places where it's not going to take a lot of your time, and it's kind of going to be like a second or third asset and bank account. So if for whatever reason your first primary goal ever does go down, you still have that second or third place where you can go ahead and pull out money from later on. So when you get to that $20,000 in profit per month, I would take up to $5,000 even in profit from those profits and move it and start putting it in somewhere where you can be saving money and growing money without a lot of effort on your end. Then go back and keep on working on your primary goal and your primary business and see where that goes. But when you get to that $20,000 per month mark, that is what I would be doing.